Okay, this is Thanksgiving. So happy Thanksgiving, everybody. And I hope you have all the turkey you can stand and even more. Because, you know, this is America and that is the way we do things. Okay, so this is Bonsai Anonymous. And this is my kind of hapless hibiscus, as we say. All right, so I'm going to get rid of some of this because I see it making a mark. Be a little one. Okay. So first of all, let's look at this and see where we think the front is. Okay, so why can't we decide? It's an easy question. But we can't decide because we can't see the trunk. So the first thing we have to do is get rid of that. Get rid of everything around here. Now what I'm going to do with it, hopefully without making it too bad, is my old cover here for my bonsai tools. Some of these things are things that you might want. I don't know about that. That's a succulent. And I can't tell you what kind it is. But I'm going to take those. And if I have to make a little forest out of those, I will. These are something else. I don't know what they are. And doesn't mean they're bad. I just not that much interested in them. And there are so many. Okay, so there's a nice one with a little artillery plant on it. Okay, and when we get down here, we start to see the dirt. And there's some dirt. These stones, which I am really fond of, not that one so much, but these stones, how are we doing here? 158, good. All right, these stones are ones that have been run through, not all of the polish. They're not polished, but they're smoother than they were. Can you see that? And also in here are some of these blue stones, which I'm going to need for another project. All right, so let's just start at the trunk and work our way out. Now here's one that that is a palm tree coming from a palm seed. So we're going to see if we can do something with him. It's not a bonsai, but, well, at least I don't think he is. Maybe someone can correct me. Interesting, I mainly do this program. I mainly do this little thing just for my own sake, for several reasons. First of all, I am losing my memory. Okay, we're going to plant him. We'll put him down here with the planters. Okay, and the rest of these, as I've said many times before, are great turtle food. The turtles just eat them up. They see me coming with these little artillery plants. I don't know. They must be like cheeseburgers or something to turtles, because they do like them. All right, so I'm going to get to do a couple things today with this, which I'm really happy about. Okay, we'll leave you with your shell. All right, so first of all, let's spread this out a little bit. You don't need to be in there. I still see some, what's the word? Rubber from the rubber plant I fractured this morning earlier. Boy, I'm glad that one's not on film. Oh, okay, so we're kind of down to the dirt here. We can see a little better what's happening. Now, this is a sucker. I'm going to leave it because theoretically, well, it's coming off of the trees. I don't know if that's what a sucker is. It's at the bottom. It's growing. I'm going to make it a sacrificial branch. Yeah, sacrificial branch. That's when your face goes white after you see a sacrifice. And all right, so yeah, well, I kind of started him already. All right, so we're leaving him. And leave him. This is coming off the back. I'm going to get rid of that. Now, to do this properly, I think you ought to use the tools. I wish I could say I always do that, but I don't. I get out the old kitchen scissors quite often and just whack away with them. Okay. Now this is on the back, so I'm going to get rid of him. And then little brush out here. I did this with my finger earlier, and it's just so, what's the word? Such a mess. It's like liquid baby poop or something. So instead of that, what I'm going to use is this little brush that I bought to do it with, and of course it's dried to a very cement-like consistency. All right, now I'll save it out because I'll use it again probably. All right. Now that I can see the trunk, I'm pretty sure this is the front. Okay. All right, so, okay. So the first thing I need to do, which I don't think I did it on this one, is put my little diagram on here that I'm trying to learn. And my hands are so unsteady that I don't have a lot of luck doing it. I know there's a way to do this, but I don't know. Okay, so that's a big, gross Japanese character for front. It's not even centered. Okay, so all my imperfections come out to roost here. All right, so I'm going to the front with this. So now let's look. Okay, back to another question. How high do I want this to be? And I'm just getting to the point where that question can be asked. This piece is coming off. I think it's dead anyway. Is that true? Oh, I got a little bit of action there, so maybe I better paste it. Okay. All right. So one of the things that is hard for me to decide at this point is which one's going to be the center, which one's going to be the leader, as they say. Okay. While I'm leadering, thinking, I'm just going to get rid of some of these extra broken old pieces. So that's the front. Leaving you, because you're going to be a sacrificial branch. Don't think I want you coming back toward the middle. You either. You don't want you to come to the front. Okay, so now this will be gone ultimately. And hopefully, this is kind of the main trunk. So I'm kind of thinking that is going to be the leader. This is going to be down lower. Like, I don't know. I don't know. But while I'm thinking about that, I can do something simpler. And that is to bend this in the way I want, over that way. Okay? So how do we do that when there's not a lower branch? Well, that's simple. We just use the upper branch to bend it with. And I don't need it anywhere near that much wire. So let's, rather than cutting that piece, let's find a little smaller one, because I have a lot. One thing I haven't succeeded in doing, and I hope this video isn't too bad in that respect yet. I bought a looks good. I bought a little microphone that goes on my phone, so that when I get too far away, how are we doing here? 9 minutes. We're doing good. So when I get too far away from it, it's muddy. Now today, and also we have sounds out here. We have the fountain, or I mean the pond in back of us, the waterfall's going constantly, at least it should be. Birds are flying around. I've put a bunch of bird food out yesterday, so that's going to be there. So anyway, there's sounds back here. We have Yip across the easement, who isn't barking at the moment for some reason. I don't know what's going on with Yip. This would normally be prime barking time for him. Okay, so this is going to be wired this way. Okay. So how we do it is we just put an anchor wire here. Then this one is going to go around here, provided you can do it without breaking it. Okay. I think I might be able to do that much. Get the wire on. That's okay. Now, this is going to go this way and then up. Okay, now that, to me, that's so much better than going forward like it was. It's still a little close to the trunk, and it may be that this all has to go at some point. I don't know. Right now I'm not going to take it. But let's do a little more clipping here. That's on the inside. That's going backwards. I don't think we can fix it, so we're going to get rid of it. All right. And we'll paint a little more with some of this on that, since we're being conscientious today, as opposed to the other. I gotta remember where it was. I did it. Okay, right there. Okay, so what is cut paste for? It is for two reasons, and of course this is all over the internet. You don't need to have me tell you, but it is a compound, and I can't read any of that, trusting that it's not radioactive waste. But anyway, it seals the break. I don't know if you can see that up there. Yeah, you can see it. It seals the break and also prevents fungus from growing. Okay, now here's an example of something that I just learned about. Am I in here? Yeah, look at that leaf. See that leaf? I'm not going to take him, although I should. Okay, so you need to go this way and up. Okay, so we're going to do you too. Oh, I'm thinking about it, but I lost my train of thought. This leaf has a little yellowish color to it, and what I think that means is that it's not producing as much chlorophyll as it should. That's the way I understand it. So what they suggest, and by the way, I have to credit my wife again. She's been doing gardening for a long time, and I'm not going to tell you how many years. That would be inappropriate, but a long time, longer than me, longer than we were married, and that should tell you something. But anyway, my wife said that indicates a situation where the chlorophyll is not really being produced very well. Okay, so am I ever going to be able to do anything with that? I don't think so. So, okay, so what you do about this, and I bought some. Where is it? That's a good question. Oh, here it is. And I might as well do it while I'm fooling around here. This is blood meal. And for those of you who are vegetarians, you might want to avert your eyes. I'm not a vegetarian, but I think this is kind of gross. But we're stuck with it in some ways. That is where the iron is. Okay, that's where the iron is. And what would be nice would be if I could find just a little scoop. Okay, I know where this is. It's a tool, right? We have a tool for this. Which one of these will it be? That's the tool. That's the question. Now, what are we doing again? Oh yeah, putting blood meal in. I haven't ever put any blood meal into anything, and I think that I'm going to have to be careful. When I get all the way bottom down here and I see nothing in here but the garbage, and I wanted to dump it, but one of the things about dumping dirt out of things is that everything gets dumped. So my little shuttle is way over here. When I first started to do bonsai, speaking like I'm some sort of old timer here, but I bought one of these little kits, and little bonsai kits. You know, they're not expensive, $10, and they come with this little case, and which has room for other things in it. And I'm looking at this and I'm saying, my God, what a scam this is! That they're going to sell you these little pseudo tools for this. But as it turns out, it's not a scam. You really can use that. Okay, so here's how I'm going to do this. I've been wanting to use this for a while. This might be the time for it. This is an old, really old, what is it called? Salt shaker. And what I was thinking about doing is putting some of this in the salt shaker so I could apply it, not liberally, as they say, less than liberally. And so one of the first things they say about this is that you smell animal. Well, I don't know. Yeah, I guess old dead animal, more or less. Okay, so how am I going to do this? Well, I was talking about my little bonsai tools here a second ago, and so where the hell is that scoop? There it is. This is really useful. This is worth the price of admission right here for doing things like scooping little amounts of things and putting them places. Okay, so all I want is to put some of this in here without wasting it. And so I put my hand on the other end over the holes. Okay, now let's do that. Now let's see what happens. Does it come out? Yeah. I don't know if that's too much or too little, because I can't see it. It has no color, at least that I can tell. Okay, so we're doing an experiment. See? Yeah, experiment. See how it comes out a little bit, like pepper. And the deal is that you don't want to put too much on. They say it will burn it. By the way, how do you like my new back screen here? Isn't that wonderful? This is something like the pros use, you know? Can you see how cool that is? Man, I don't know, I impressed myself. Okay, so now we did that. I'm happy with that. We did some of that. And we can put all of our tools back here, in here, we want. Some of these don't belong in the little, what's the word, the little basket here. They don't. And I notice I do have two of these, which is just so good. I don't want to lose them. I'm pretty good at losing things, losing specifically tools. Let's go here. Let me just tell you what they are when I put them away. That's to make holes in the dirt for seeds and seedlings. Very valuable. This is a shear clipper that is probably totally rusted together by now. No, not quite. So this one's going to have to be left out, cleaned up, and we'll make another try at it. Okay? Pliers are really important. These little tools all have their own spot. See it? This is a nice little tiny scooper. Can go in there. There's another one of those. So I think over the years looks like I bought more than one of these kits. And usually how that happens is that I forgot I bought the other one. Okay, so we're going to put the other things in here so we can see them. Like that. Right, and you'll go there for the moment. Another really valuable thing to have is this. I'm not going to use it on this, but for two reasons. This is one of my favorites, and it's kind of sharp, and I could stand to clean it, but the thing I like it about the best, first, is that it does this. It's so much of a drag to have to go like that every time. Okay? Is that a small, petty thing? Yeah, well, my hands don't work that well, and I haven't dropped anything yet today, but I will, if you watch long enough. And having this have to do that means I drop it a lot more. Okay, so we'll put him back in there. They fall to the bottom, then I don't know they're there. Like this little bamboo rake. How cool is that? What do you do with that? Well, it's really going to do a better job of what I'm doing right now than doing it with your fingers. It just is. There's no, I don't really think you could question it. Whether it's a little cheap bamboo one or one of these metal ones, I don't think you can. Now, what I want is to, I don't know if it's a good idea to have done this before I do any scooping, but I'm putting the blood meal down in the ground. That's, it says to do that, and I forgot. So now I'm doing it in the guise of moving this dirt around. Okay. All right. So much for that. So let's put let's put this away, and so we don't have to worry about it. Let's get one of these wires out. One of the nice things about having bonsai wire is how many things you can do with it, and it's a nice thing to have because it bends easy. And if you're old, let's see here. If you're old, yeah, that's not great. But if I put it back in this box, I think the chances are that I can find it again. And that's what we're after here. Okay. Blood meal. Now, this number says that this has a lot of nitrogen in it. NPK. Nitrogen, potassium, what's the third one? It doesn't matter, it's a K. Nitrogen, something, and potassium, and I don't know, K is something. I'll have to find that out. But anyway, I kind of like this brand just because it's down to earth and it's all natural, and compost this box. I mean, that's all stuff aimed at someone like me, a left-winger who wants to pretend like they're doing the earth some good. I got news for you. Probably about 2 or 3 cows died to make that. So, and then I eat them for lunch too. So I don't think I'm that much of a environmentalist. Only when it suits my purposes. That's my main thing on that. I have a good friend who says, I never lie unless it suits my purposes, and I would agree with that. Okay, so this cut paste, I'm leaving it down, and I managed to fool around long enough that now I have to think of something to do. Okay, I'm getting rid of you, going backwards. Where's our cut paste thing? Had it here. Did I throw it on the ground? I had a brush. My brush. It'll show up. Surprise it. Here it is. Put it in here. All right. So my brush needs a little help. All right. So I fed the turtles some real turtle food today, which is something I could stand to do a little more often. Our neighbor, one of them, is has his grill fired up. I've been smelling the grill fluid. And it's peculiar to Americans that this smell is associated with food. I think, I'm going to guess that in many countries it's associated with an emergency. Something's burning that shouldn't be. So the handle broke off, so it doesn't matter, I still use it. Okay, so this, now that I've got something in it, I need to label it. And I don't know that this is going to label it or not. I'll try it. Blood meal. Okay. Yeah. Maybe. Oops. So, can you tell I'm trying out a new clamp? My life is been reduced to trying to find ways to hold my cell phone so I can do this. That's kind of where I am right now. It's okay. It's better to be there than nowhere now. Is that going to fit over there? Yeah, like that. Okay. So I'm going to seal this a little. I'm not going to put it where it rains, but I don't know if that will help with the humidity. It doesn't look like there's much help for that. Okay, so this, I'm going to end up using that a lot because now that I have started to notice, I see these yellow leaves everywhere. Like that one. Well, where's the one I was talking about? Him. I'm leaving him for no real reason other than that I want to see if anything happens with this blood meal. Okay, so I want you down. So that's pretty easy. I want you down in this way. So we're going to go around the thing that way. This is a spot where I often blow it. Trying to figure out which way the wire needs to be wound. And I think if you went and looked at the wiring that I've done, you'll find that maybe half of them are going the wrong way for what I want to accomplish. And maybe I didn't realize it, or I'm too lazy to take it off and start over, and I try to make it work. Okay? And truthfully, it does work sometimes. Okay, so now it's anchoring, I think, okay, but I'm going to just put it around a little more like that. All right, now what we want to do with you is bring you down and forward. Okay, I think that's all right. Okay, I'm going to stop the video now